Hello and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Let's try that again. Kerbal Space Program. Okay, right. So what we're going to do, I think, this time is we're going to go straight for the big boys. We're going to go for orbiting Kerbin. I think we've got plenty of money now. We've got, well, we don't have plenty of money. We've got money. We've got plenty of parts to be able to do this now. So let's take this. So some of these are going to be expiring fairly soon, but let's go and do some of these let's do these after we get into orbit, okay? So first thing we're going to want to do is get rid of that piece of crap for starters. Let's have this one. So first thing we need to do on here, look at this, we've got the radial decouplers now, which is great. Let's put that on there. Where's our science? We've already got the mystery goo containment unit, but we are going to get 50 odd science from doing this. So let's build up this rocket. So we've got some solid fuel boosters here now, which is great because these are going to help us really get into orbit really quickly. I don't believe I have the winglets. Well, I do have some winglets. I suppose we could put these on here to help with stability, but they're not the ones I want. So let's just, what we're also going to do actually, if I just get rid of that a moment, is we're going to build a small upper stage here. So is it this small fuel tank we want? No, do you know what, this one will probably do actually, because all it's got to do is just enough to fire the engine quickly just to get us out of space. But this, I think, is where we're going to put a couple of mystery goo containment units. So let's put them that way actually. There we go, let's put those on there like that. A teeny tiny little thing. And you know what we're missing actually? We're missing a fucking parachute. We need a parachute, damn it. Now look at this, it's got the parachute and this top stage firing at the same time. That is wrong. That is wrong, wrong, wrong. Structural, let's put that on here. Now we've got ourselves a nice little upper stage here. So in the meantime we need to build a massively phallic rocket again. So that will do, I think. What we're going to use here is we're going to use this LVT-45, and the reason for that is because it has thrust vectoring, so this one will help us turn as we're ascending. So great! That should be more than enough. Now let's pop a couple of these radial decouplers on here, because the reason for that is that we are also going to add some solid rocket boosters, some SRBs. Now these are really going to help us get up there quite quickly. So let's move these down so that when we take off we're resting on these things. Now hopefully this is going to be strong enough to actually survive. So what we want to do is have all three of these engines fire at the same time, and then these two separators to separate next. When that happens, we will still be burning this central stage, and do you know what? I think this actually looks a little bit too big. There's probably way too much fuel on here. We've got these solid rocket boosters now, and they're going to help us massively. So once this central stage is done, we're not just going to orbit Kerbin here, are we? We're going to go into a high orbit, I think. Let's see if we can do that. Then we separate this, then we've got our tiny little descent stage at the top here. Now I need an engine up here just so I can, once I'm actually in orbit, I need something to actually slow me down again so that I can land properly. So let's name this Orbiter Mark 1. Everything's got to be Mark 1 or Mark 2. That's the way it works. So let's launch. First proper rocket is already on the launch pad. There, recover it. Oh look, I get some science for that. Cool. Whoopie-doo. Oh, I get some money back for the parts. I didn't realise I'd left it on the launch pad. When I recovered, I must have just recovered Jeb, but never mind. Okay, so oh, we didn't put any winglets on there. Back to vehicle assembly. Dumbass. Aerodynamic winglets. So we want 3 winglets, is it? Or can we make do with 2? No, do you know what? We'll make do with none. I don't think we need winglets. This is nice and well balanced. This is a very simple rocket. Okay, so T for stability control. Let's get into the map view. Zoom in a little bit here. A little flag. Let's turn that on. Set it to the stage only. No. Set it to that so that we can see what's going on. Go back here. Throttle up. And fire. Ooh, they wobbled a bit. They're holding. They wobbled a bit, but they're holding. Now look at how quickly we're getting up here. This is what you want. So, what are we going to do? We're going to do a crew report? No, we're not going to do a crew report here. So, I think maybe our second stage here might be a little bit underpowered. We're up at 3 kilometers already, so that's not so bad. We're going at a fair old rate of knots, but these solid fuel boosters are going to be done before long. But that's fine. Look at this. They've got us most of the way. They've got us half of the way. Wow, half of the way. No, not quite. So, let's get rid of these solid fuel boosters. Now that is enough to start us, to get us up to the height we need to start pitching over and start actually putting ourselves into orbit. So I'm going to do this from this view here. I've got my eye on the fuel up here, so that's cool. So maybe not going to go for high orbits, we're just going to go for orbit. Now, from what I've heard, you need to keep your time to apoapsis here, which is the T minus thing. We need to keep this around a minute. So we're going to pitch over slowly so that this hopefully keeps rising, basically, because if this number keeps going, it means that we're still going up because the apoapsis is going up. But if the time to apoapsis starts going down, that means that we are no longer going up, and my rocket's pitched over too much there. So we're still accelerating here at this point. We're still going upwards, which is what we need. Now we're going to start pitching over towards horizontal. And let's just have a quick look and see how high we are. 31 kilometers up. Here we go. We're going to be in orbit in no time. We'll have you up there, no problem whatsoever. Now look, it's switched across to orbital, to the orbital trajectory there, which is cool. So, as soon as this hits 70, well, no, actually we're not going to go for just 70, we're going to go for 100 here. As soon as this hits 100, we are going to kill the engines. We've still got enough fuel to burn to put ourselves into a stable orbit. So 73, 4, 5, come on, it's got to go up to 100. We're getting there though. Just keeping an eye on the fuel. Maybe we don't actually have enough fuel to go for high orbit. That will do. Cool. So, let's get some science while we're up here. Observe the mystery goo. The goo seems to be getting very cold now. Cool, thank you very much. We'll do the other one while we're actually in orbit. So, what we're going to do is use this maneuver node system here. So, what I want to do is when I reach apoapsis, which is the highest point of my orbit, I need to burn the engines so that instead of coming back down, we push the craft this way, which in turn pushes our orbit circular. So, we've got an apoapsis of 101,495. Now, what I'm looking for is a periapsis, which is over there. I need to get that up to the same height. And there we go. You see when they flip around like that? That's when you're up at the same height. So 101,286, 101,791. Down on the nav ball now, here we have this little blue marker, which is where we need, this is the direction we need to be pointing when we actually hit this maneuver node, and we can see we're going to get there in 2 minutes. I'm going to need to burn for 15 seconds. Hopefully this stage has still got enough for that. I'm hoping so. So, we don't necessarily have to get up to 100 kilometers with this. We only actually have to get up to above 70 kilometers for this. But I want to actually get into orbit properly. So, let's just spin time on a little bit. Very, very careful because it's very easy to overshoot here. So, when it gets to about 7.5 seconds, I'm going to start burning the engine. I am going to quick save here, just in case we screw something up. Right, that'll do. Let's go. Hopefully we've got enough fuel to do this. Now, you can see the blue actual orbit start to move out, and we'll see the amount of delta V we need is dropping. And boom! There we go. Pretty close. Let's get rid of that maneuver node. And we're in orbit. Look at this. And we get a thing to say, Nicely done. The mission controllers confirmed that a stable orbit has been achieved. Woo! Look at this. Now what we're going to do, I just want to spin time on a little bit because I want to get a report from the mystery goo container, but I don't want to be over the water when I'm doing that because we've already got that one. I'm going to pitch myself this way. Over this way a little bit. Stop! Stop, stop, stop. Go back, go back, go back. You've gone too far. It's very hard to control this without reaction control systems. Sooner I unlock that, the better. So, ditch that stage. Now we're just left with our tiny little stage. It's very dark over here. I can't see. Let's observe the mystery goo. Goo seems to have clumped into a sphere. It also appears to have become brittle. I don't believe we have a crew report yet. So let's get a crew report. The sky is mostly below us. You smart ass. Right, now I'm going to point... Whoa, look at this. It's moving very easily now. So I'm going to point it upwards like that. Just so I can see a little bit better. No, I want it pointed that way. Which way do I want this thing pointing? Here we go, like that, just so I can see it a little bit better. Find... Where's the thing? There it is. There it is. Let's go and do a little EVA. Do you know what? Actually, get back in there. I don't want to do an EVA where I'm on the dark side. Because otherwise I won't be able to see shit. Let's do a couple of orbits, 1 or 2 orbits, that's all we need really. Just to prove that we were here, basically. I'm going to get over the mountains when I do my EVA, I think. Here we go, like this. So, come out of map view. Now look, there we go. Now I can see. So where's the hatch? There's the hatch. Jeb, get out, buddy. So, turn on your reaction control. How do we let go? Oh my word. Oh my word. This is the scary bit. Now we're floating away from the spacecraft here. I don't want to do that. Let's just stay fairly close by. Because otherwise we'll end up killing the poor sucker. Cool. Just above Kerbin's grasslands. There we go. See, we get like all these different biomes and stuff here. So let's not muck around here. Let's just get back on board. Because we don't have tethers in this. We can't like tie you to the spacecraft and pull you in. So get back in, please. Right, that's enough now. What we're going to do now is going to point ourselves along this marker on the nav ball, which is our retrograde vector. And we're just going to burn the engines a little bit so that we just drop back into the atmosphere. Now, what I haven't done is activated that engine yet. Why can't I press spacebar? What's going on? Meh, I'll just do it that way. There we go. So now we want to bring our we want to bring this blue line basically just back down to the planet like that. And if I stop that, we're actually going to land fairly close. We're going to land fairly close to the space center. Do you know what? Let's burn a little bit more. Let's see if we can land right actually on the space center, which I think is this bit here. So what I need to do, I think, is pitch my spacecraft up a little bit. Pitch my orbit down. Sorry. So let me see. No, I want to be pointed the other way, I think. Let's try this. So if I burn that way. It's making no difference. Never mind. That's going to be close enough. That's going to be close enough. So what altitude are we at now? We're still at orbital altitude, so let's spin on a little bit. Let's turn off stability control. Oh, I need to do that. I need to... There we go. Separate that, because I don't need that little bit now. We're heading back down into the atmosphere now. Turn off stability control. So that once we hit the atmosphere, it'll start pointing itself the right way, like this. There we go. And slowly, slowly, slowly head down into the atmosphere. Oh, hello. Haha, I'm messing it up. Sorry, I'm being a twat. And you see, if you were coming in a real spacecraft like that, you'd be dead. You'd be absolutely dead. Oh no, we're going to be miles away. We're going to be miles away. We're going to be miles away from the space center. That's no good. Ah well, it's close enough. I should probably fire my parachute about now. Now we're going to land on water, so this will probably, the parachute will open at about 500 meters. So let's just spin time on a little bit. And then slow time down a little bit to make sure it doesn't mess up. There we go. And down, down, down we go. Down we go. Ah, this takes so long. Come on. There we go. And we've splashed down. Cool. Now, I was tempted to get out and try and take a surface sample here, but I won't. Let's just recover the vessel. Cool, so we've done our first orbit. So what we need to do next is go and do some of these crappy little thingies, some of these crappy little contracts. So let's just see, crew report while in space near Kerbin, EVA report from just above Kerbin's grasslands, recovery of a vessel returned from Kerbin orbits. We got all these parts, we got the crew. So we got 73 science earned on this mission altogether, and all of the money, cool. So, let's take a look at our R&D now. Look at this. Now we have 74 science to spend. Now we can start getting the cool stuff. Right. We have a mission for this launch stability enhancer, so I think I want to take that. I think I want these AVR8 winglets because they're very good. What else have we got here? I really want the Science Junior, so that's going to cost me 45. That's going to cost me 45. I can't afford both of these. Well, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take this one so we can start actually doing some science with this thing. And this gives us a ton of science. So, okay. That is probably enough for this episode. We're gonna call it here, and we are going to take a little break. We will see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.